guys, and welcome back to Abby's Bible Studies. Today, I'm going to be sharing my testimony and kind of where God's brought me from in the last month or so. But first, I just want to say before I even start sharing that none of this is me. It's all God working through my life in the last 7 years. Because where I'm starting this story, I was 12 years old. This is where my story starts. I mean, it's not where my story started. I mean, obviously, I'm 19 and not 7, but I'm thankful that I have been raised in church my whole life. That has been something recently that I've been really thankful for, and that I have family that prays over me daily, and church family, and not just actual family. And I'm so thankful that I'm a 4th generation Pentecostal. Like, to me, that is such a blessing in disguise, because, and this is not even a part of my testimony, but one of my best friends right now, she is a 1st generation Pentecostal. She is the start to her family being Pentecostal. And just to see how different our upbringings are, I'm thankful for the way I was raised. Not that she was raised bad. She's a wonderful person, but I always had church there even if I didn't want it. And I'm so thankful for that, because I wouldn't be where I am without church and without God. I say church, but it's more along the lines of God working through my family and my life than just going to church, even though going to church is important. But we're going to start with my testimony. It starts when I was 12 years old at church camp. And this was the first time that God truly gave me a word telling me what I was going to do in life. At this time, I was transitioning from going to kids camp to junior camp. And they're a little bit different, and I am a person, more so at this age, I was so scared of change. I'd had a lot of change in my life. My parents had gotten divorced when I was young, so I was like, they'd been divorced for many years at this point. But like, change really scared me, and so just even that small change of going from one camp to another really scared me, so I didn't want to go. And the only reason I was able to go is because someone blessed my family and sponsored me to go. And I don't know who it was, but to this day, I'm still very thankful for that person, because God laid something on my heart that camp. He told me I was going to give a Bible study, and it wasn't an audible voice. I was in deep prayer, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even eat lunch that day because it was a morning service. And I remember sitting at that altar for probably an hour, just seeking the Lord in prayer and just wanting what he had for me. I was going to make the decisions to walk this, even though I was so young. And he told me I was going to give a Bible study. Now, this really scared me at that age because, again, change scared me. And also, I was a very, very shy kid. I wasn't outgoing at all at this age. I'm way more outgoing now. But, like, at this age, I was very shy. I didn't really enjoy being around people. I really wanted to keep to myself most of the time. And I liked being around my family, but, like, I was around them all the time, so I was used to them. But, like, camps, and specifically, I loved going to them, but they were such a uncomfortable experience for me, not because of the church, not because of the word of God brought, but because there was so many people I didn't know. And even to this day, I struggle with people I don't know. Like, working at McDonald's I work at McDonald's right now, has really grown me as a person, because I have to talk to so many people I don't know every single day. And that, for me, has done great things in my life. But I got off track. So I didn't actually act on giving this Bible study. It took 4 years for God to actually open the door for me to give a Bible study. And then, again, I was at summer camp, and they had introduced what they call a P7 club to us. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to start a P7 club in my school. And I tried. I went to my principal. I did the whole information. But because I went to a very small high school, they wanted me to just work with the FCA club. I was like, okay, I can do that. Well, I was going to do a home P7 club, and I was going to host a Bible study in my house. Well, the first one I was going to host, I went out, I bought all these snacks I had saved up some money to buy snacks with, and I had bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, going to have this Bible study. I invited a bunch of people, and it comes time, and everyone I invited canceled on me. They're like, oh my gosh, Abby, I'm so sorry, I can't make it today. Well, I was a little distraught, not like super distraught, and that's where my first YouTube video came from. I got so scared to do that. I was like, my mom's going to be so mad at me that I'm posting online and on and on and on. But I did it. I just posted online and told her after the fact. I'm not saying to do that, but I knew that's what God wanted me to do in that moment. Now, I go into my junior year, because this was just before my junior year of high school, and a lot of things in my life shifted and changed. And what a lot of people don't know was all throughout high school, I suffered with severe anxiety, and the depression didn't really get bad until this last year, but I also had depression, and it's not diagnosed because I didn't tell anyone about it, but I was always anxious, and there was days that it was really hard for me to get out of bed. And which in the last year were more days than not. I skipped class more than what I ever did. I quit going to church because I just couldn't get out of bed. And I noticed, looking back, I noticed that I started to fill my time with not bad things. I started to make myself so busy that I didn't have time to focus on God. So I almost walked away from God to do the things that my heart desired, that my flesh desired. And not that these things are bad. I wasn't out partying every single night. I was just so involved with school and extracurricular activities at school that I had no time for God and no time to serve God. And if I have to take anything out of this, I have decided I'm going to give up some things this year. There's some things that I'm not going to do that I was doing last year. Some clubs, just so I can have time to go to church and have time to serve outside of just Sunday and Wednesdays. And funny enough, I've been reading through the Bible. I do have this book. And recently I've been going through Deuteronomy and Joshua, and now I just got into Judges. And through Deuteronomy and Joshua, it's talking about how the Israelites constantly rebelled against God, but if they stayed in line with God, they would get the blessings of God. And God has given me a lot of promises in my life, very many promises. That Bible study was the first one he gave me, and since then I've gotten a lot of promises. One of them is about to be a big life-changing promise, but I'm not announcing that yet. I don't feel like God is ready for me to announce it to the whole world. My youth group knows, my family knows, and my close friends know. And a couple other people like that I had to tell, but I haven't announced it yet. And for me, this thing that I'm about to step out in faith for, it's honestly really scary. And if God hadn't have delivered me from anxiety a month ago at a youth rally that I only went to hear my favorite preacher preach and opened up my heart to anything that God wanted me to do, I never would have heard it. So anyways, back to where I've been studying in Deuteronomy and Joshua and now into Judges. The Israelites are constantly back and forth, and they're going back and forth from serving God and serving other gods. And at the end of Joshua, in chapter 24, verse 15, it says, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And this verse is so strong for me right now because as for me and my future household, right now I live with my Nana, I'm going to serve the Lord no matter what it takes, no matter what people say. And this is my encouragement to you. If you are any on the fence about serving God, because for the last year I almost walked away from God and every promise he's given me to follow after the dreams and the things that I wanted to do. If this is your sign not to do that, just follow God's plan, follow his will, because I'm telling you, the second I gave over control, complete control, because I am a very type A OCD person, I want control of everything in my life. I said, you know what, God, it's yours to have. Take it away. I can't take it anymore. And since that moment, I have been at such peace, and God has given me things to unfold in my life that things start to make sense. The promises that he's given me and the guidance he's given me, even in the last month, had made my plans and my dreams seem like peas compared to his plans and his dreams for me. Peas compared to giants. And I'm just so thankful for all the development in my life. This Bible study is a little bit longer than what I intended, but I just felt it was so needed for me to share this because God has done so much in my life recently, and I'm so thankful. I'm beyond grateful for all that he has done. So thank you for listening to my testimony. Maybe one day soon I'm going to announce the big plan God has for me in the next year. It may be 6 months from now. It may not be till the day it happens. But one day soon, y'all will know. I know some people already know, but I'm really excited for this next step in life that God's leading me down. But it's gonna come with some challenges, and I just know that God will be there to catch me even when I fall. And He's put people in my life recently that will be there to catch me as well and pray for me. So thank you for listening to me talk about my story and my life. Just remember, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Thank you.